Well, joining me now is Sir Tim Schmidt, the founder of one of Cornwall's biggest attractions, the Eden Project, and also Olga an international hotelier who owns 2 hotels in this region. Sir Tim, you've had a pretty bad few years at the Eden Project and had to lay people off relatively recently. Are things looking up this year?
Thank heavens. Things are looking a lot better now. We had a very bad car crash of a year last year. We had bad weather. We had the wonderful Olympics, of course, which were a distraction. But I think we're on the up now.
And the sun has shone on you.
The sun has shone on us, indeed.
Olga, are your hotels full?
Yes, we have had a much better year, actually. It's the best year since 2008. But again, I'm not quite sure if it's the upturn or the weather. But I hope it's a slight upturn.
You're grateful nevertheless.
Very grateful.
But how much of that is actually benefiting the local community? Because I think you told the local paper that 0 hours contracts, which obviously don't guarantee people hours, were glorified slavery. But you do use those contracts, don't you?
Yeah, I did say that, actually. But it's a very cheeky question of you, because what I said was...
I like being cheeky.
In the wrong hands, they can be turned into glorified slavery.
So you're the right hands.
We are the right hands, and they were voted for by my colleagues. No, it was a situation to create freedom of people to still be employed, but to be able to work for us when we need them and for other people.
So your employees voted for 0 hours contracts?
A number of our employees who are working in the catering side of it, because of course in the winter you're much less busy than during the summer. So we actually tend to have a system where people work more hours in the summer and less hours in the winter.
But am I right in thinking that only half the staff, roughly half, at your Cornwall hotel are local? Have you not gone for cheap labour abroad? Is that what's happening there?
I mean, I think it's a joke when you talk about cheap labour from abroad. The Poles that come to us, or the Germans or the Austrians, they know exactly what they should be paid, and there's no way you pay them less than the English.
But why not hire the local staff?
Well, I'd love to hire local staff. If you hire local staff, you don't have to give accommodation. They're happier because they've got their families here, they know the place well. But it's difficult to get local staff. And some of the young foreign staff are better trained, they've got a better attitude. They're extremely good.
Local staff just don't work hard enough, is it?
Well, some of them do. We have, as you say, we've got 50% local, and the ones we have, some of them have been with me right from the beginning, 15 years.
Well, Tim, is that the same for you? That you?
Certainly, we have 430 permanent staff, and it goes up to 700 in the summertime, and almost all of them are Cornish. We began in a business where there was nothing where we were, so we had to train people up, and we're really proud of the, if you like, the infrastructure we've created to do that.
But isn't the problem, if you're not paying people a living wage, which, am I right that neither of you are paying a living wage?
Of course we pay living wages. A lot of our people have bought houses, a lot of them... of course they have a living wage.
They can afford to do that, because a lot of people I was speaking to in Padstow had no hope of getting on the property ladder.
Well, let me see. I've got a chef that's bought a house. I've got a head of the restaurant who's bought a house. I've got my secretary that's bought the secretary at Tresanton that's bought a house.
So, Tim, is that the case for you? Your employees are able to afford houses?
Not all of them. No, absolutely not. I would guess probably 2/3 can. And a third can't. And that's the way a lot of people are making their way in a career going through it. I mean, the catering industry is such that people start and learn their first skills, and then they get better and better at it and get better and better paid. It's called job progression.
Absolutely.
How many people at Channel 4 can afford their own house when they start out?
Well, probably not enough.
No, well, the insinuation you make is absolutely extraordinary. I find it really annoying that you've picked on, you come to Cornwall and you say, we'll talk about second homes, what a cliche, we'll talk about low pay, okay, as opposed to what an extraordinary renaissance Cornwall has had since over the last 5-6 years, with the university being built, super fast broadband, more starter companies in Cornwall than anywhere in Britain, and a longer time of 3 years in activity. And you don't talk about that.
I see all of that, and I've seen all of that today, but I've also seen astronomically high property prices. And look, David Cameron's coming to the area, but we're not in London now. We're not in London with those kind of job opportunities and pay opportunities.
Yes, but we have a lot of derelict land here in Cornwall.
Okay, just let me ask you this. David Cameron's coming down to the region. He's staying with an MP who has 2 homes in Padstow. Do you think that second homeowners need to be taxed slightly more?
Do you want to know the truth about second owners? Almost every single second homeowner I know would like to be taxed more. They would actually like to have it like in the south of France, where you pay double council tax. Most of the people who come to Cornwall love Cornwall and do not want to feel like pariahs and not wanted here. They would like to contribute more, but the system isn't there to do it.
So Tim Schmidt, Olga, thank you very much for joining me.